Hey everybody, it's Saturday night, and what I'm actually trying to do is get myself motivated to go downstairs and set up the tripod and shoot a video about my thoughts on. I've been asked to do a video about big chain pet stores and what I think about them, and I've actually had that on my mind today because I went to the big chain pet store today and I read some forum questions online about a big chain pet store and so on and so forth. So I've got that on my mind, and I'm just trying to get myself motivated to get down there and actually shoot the video. In the meantime, however, I figured I would make sure I at least got something out today, and I wanted to do a little update here on my office tank that has the new addition of these little checkerboard barbs in here. I'm really enjoying them so far. I just walked in, so I'm guessing that all four of them are still in here. I had all four of them as of this morning. These are basically being treated as though they're in quarantine. When I came home from the big chain pet store, I'm sorry, not the big chain pet store, the local fish store that is actually further away from me than my big chain pet store. They just basically went right into this tank, since the stock in this tank is not really precious high dollar stock. It's neons, guppies, and stuff like that. So I'm willing to take a little bit of a risk on these fish just to go straight in here. And so far I'm only seeing this one right here. If you're not sure what the checkerboard barb is, it's this sort of dark colored fish with that sort of checkerboard pattern down its side and the dark markings around, tracing around the fins. And then the fins themselves are usually a nice sort of reddish color, and you can kind of see a little bit of the orange coming out on there. And they don't group together. They tend to keep their distances from each other. And now that I'm looking around, I'm not seeing the other three. And they usually don't keep their distance to the point where you don't see any of them. Oh, I can see another one down through the leaves over there. You can kind of make him out down there. I wonder if we put a little pinch of food in there, will we get to see everybody coming out and about? Let's try to do that real quick while we're here. See, they know it's coming. I still need to get in here and do some gardening. You can see how overgrown. Well, you can see how deep the root ball has pushed down into the tank now. That used to be sitting up and floating on the surface. It's now halfway down the tank, and that is because as this new growth comes up out of the top, it's pushing against the top and it's sort of shoving the whole mass down into the tank. Not really having too much problem with the smaller one here, the lace leaf version yet, but we'll get to that soon enough. I do want to shoot a video talking specifically about that. So there we go with a little bit of fish food finally. Let me get some of it down into the water column, and that should bring everybody out. You can see some of the little tiny guppy fry that are in there. And I will say, while we're watching everybody eat here for a moment, I checked my quarantine tank when I brought home, not these fish, but when I brought home the Siamese algae eater that I got on the same trip to the same fish store. When they collected up the Siamese algae eaters for me, they somehow managed to get a little tiny fry in the tank, or in the bag, with the Siamese algae eaters. So I separated that out, and I have it in one of my quarantine tanks downstairs, and it's a tiny little thing. And I went in and checked, and I found it again this morning. It is still in there swimming around, but it's still so tiny I can't even identify it. I have no idea what it is yet, so we'll see what that is soon enough. So let me get back to looking for these barbs again. I still see that one swimming around, fairly bold. I see another one down there in the leaves. You can just kind of make him out right there. So that's two of them accounted for. Look down here underneath. You can see my little Cory cat in there. You see the Cory silhouette. I really need to get in here and thin these Java fern out a little bit. It's getting so dense and thick in there you can hardly see anything in this tank. I'm trying to see the filter intake and see if maybe if the fish died, is there any stuck to the filter intake. I'm sure once I'm done filming and walk away we're going to see 4 of them swimming around the tank, no problem. I'm definitely seeing 2 of them, and I don't see any dead ones, so that leads me to believe there's probably 2 more still hiding in the tank somewhere. They might even be in that little cave. So this one is clearly the dominant one in the tank. There's no question about that. Did I just see another one over there? No, that was a neon. Alright everybody, that's your update, I guess. We've positively identified 2 of my new checkerboard barbs, and hopefully the other 2 are still in there somewhere. So I'm going to get on with my evening. I'm going to try to get motivated, like I said, to get downstairs and get those videos shot. And if you're subscribed, you won't miss any stuff I've got coming up, and you won't miss the ongoing saga as to whether or not we have 4 of these barbs in here. This is going to drive me crazy. So anyway, make sure you're subscribed. I'm going to get on with trying to find these barbs before I do anything else, because this is going to drive me nuts if I don't solve this missing barb dilemma. And if you're subscribed, you'll find out soon enough in the future whether or not I ever found the other 2. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget, this one is my 10-gallon office tank. I'll see you real soon in the next one.